And the second question in getting our first topic available and also increasing of course the way how we understand the contemporary concepts of the project management, that's the goal setting. And the one of the tool which will be important in the goal setting of your future projects, and right now for us as the team members, we are in one plan, in one project, which is called the implementation of the essential project activity discipline in for your knowledge, for your curriculum, for your worldview about the social circumstances in which we are living. That's one of the tools which actually you will put on as one of the result in education procedure and the result of the education strategy of this course. The goal itself is supposed to relate it with the certain psychological motives, so certain psychological ideas, certain psychological state of the insight. As I have mentioned to you, one of that insight, that's actually inspiration. For sure, the inspiration is coming from different outcomes, and one of that outcomes, and while you are thinking about the goal idea of any of the projects, you're supposed to think about the happiness. One of the goal of each and every project you will work on, it's supposed to be the state of the happiness. Everyone, it doesn't matter, stakeholders or the team management, team members, or your personal goal, supposed to make work, supposed to work away from the projects that have been done, that have been completed on the time and within the budget, within the qualifying used resources, with the smile on their face, yes, with the state of the happiness. And for sure, while you're making your project activity active, while you're making your project activity related to the state of this happiness, that's what I'm thinking, and actually the theory thinks, it's given the inspiration itself, it's given the way to use your materials, use your thoughts, use your vision of the lifestyle to increase the level of health, for example, to increase the level of the providing of different medical service at your home country or at your home region. And the state of the happiness, it's a spreading goal, it's a spreading statement of the psychological vision on the society. And for sure, they are also happy when they are communicating well. Think about the communicative basis, think about the communicative procedure and communicative fields. In our communication during the course, it's mean the implementation of our project, which is called the studying, which is called the actually getting the new knowledge for you. It's of course the practical classes, it's the way of interactive connection on the platforms of and online way of the communication. And for sure, this communication basis, this way of understanding reintegration to the new ideas and rebuilding of the new types of the inside community, inside your team members, that's an important way to understand the state of the happiness. And of course, while you are thinking about this first goal, this first part of the goal statement, also describe yourself in the way how the state of the happiness will be in the end of this implementation, project implementation. It's very important, it's very useful to think about this. Second thing, that's organization, the way how you organize, how your project team have been used certain sources, and the way, as I have mentioned to you, the communication have been done, for example. Teams with the project managers benefit from the fact that someone is paying attention of how, when, and why something should happen. The way how we are making these organization tools, the way how we are making the organization strategy available for the community, available for the all segments of the project implementation, that's important. So that's why I think that organization as one of the goal setting in your project application supposed to be clearly described by the terms, clearly described by the sequences of the social changes and the way that organization will come to the real impact of the stakeholders. And for sure, in the way how we organize, for example, the communication procedure at our plan of education. You see, it's first of all lectures, it will be the practical classes, then will be the communication and the presentation of your project at the end of the discipline. That's the way that you will follow on, and it's important to follow on the organization procedure to the members of the team and to the stakeholders. Think about this goal and while you are making the goal procedure activity. When you have a dedicated project management dedicated to the whole parts of the project, whole responsible parts of the projects, there is time to organize and use the right tools to help a team. And this searching for the right tools is important for the leader of the team, and it's important also for all group project implementation team, because it's important for you, for all parts of your organization, to work on the same goal. And that will be like a communication procedure, and also you will see that we will communicate on the all steps of your education, on the all steps of your future delivery of the information. That's the way how the organization works, this goal works for the plan procedure. For sure, the team growth and development. That's the result, that's one of the main goals in each of the project. Because while you are making the project itself, the development, the team growth of each and every member of your team is important. That's why while you will work on the second part of our discipline inside in one particular group of researchers and implementators of the project activity, you will see that the strategy for the growth, the strategy for the self-development is important in implementing of any project. When you are trying to work on a task and manage it along with everyone and everything else, it can be quite tough. That's why we are using different psychological methods to make the ice breaking, to make the common statement, to make the team spirit inside the group, inside the team. It's important because the team growth could not become a result of the project unless you are using the proper way, unless you are using the proper way of understanding the activity, understanding the way how to make your team members important for each steps in creation and realizing the implementation of the project. When a project management, clear project management state involved, that stress is peeled away and the team gets to collaborate and grow by trying new approaches to deliverables, to the stakeholders. That's related, that's interrelated with the goal which was called happiness right at the beginning. Why? That's because you are getting the growth of the inside the team. which tools you can use. That's first of all, you're supposed to show that each and every part of the team, each and every part of the project team, it's important in the project realization. That's making the common way in understanding certain steps in implementation of the project. That's the way also how you will collaborate with the, as it have been mentioned, with the deliverables or the stakeholders of the projects. For sure, here one of the most important thing is to make the circumstances for the team members to feel that they are making the development of the project part of their life, part of their activity. It's important also in psychological sense to create the way of the team spirit. Such a thing as the team growth, it's the result of one of the result of the team spirit. And for sure, it's for the proper project management, for proper project management activity as the result of our discipline, you will try to make some tools in making of the team spirit important for your team members, for the team growth. So once more, the team growth and development, that's the result of your practice. As more you will stay in the connection inside your team, and as more practice you will get from each of the projects on which you have been participated on, you will see that the communication itself getting easier. You will see that you personally get a lot of inspiration for the further development of your own goals. For sure, there will be mistakes. As I have mentioned to you in the first part of our communication, there is a due to mistake way in each part of the project. And don't worry that the mistakes themselves will distribute to the decreasing of the psychological problem. It's also decreasing on the way how you will feel these mistakes. First of all, you will think that mistakes is terrible, and of course the good communicators, good way in understanding the common way of team, it's actually this inspiring, this team growth. So that's why the mistakes will introduce the increasing of the level of the practice. And for sure, the goal of the team growth and development, that's not just the result of one way in implementing of the project. For sure, as I have mentioned to you, you're supposed to be flexible. The project itself is not stone written. It's due to change. You could not make it just right in one attempt. These attempts supposed to be changing, supposed to make a lot of flexibility to the respondent. While you are making the communication field, while you are making your team managing, while you are making your team members getting new ideas, then you will see that such a thing as flexibility is supposed to be in use. And one thing how to try to get the goal setting, the plan goal important for the flexibility is to create the communication skills, to make the communication level clear for the whole parts of the project. And then you will see the way of introduction, the new information. That means firstly we will get the information, then we will rework it on the basis of the resources, on the basis of availability of the resources, and then we will make our project goals flexible, our project let's say parts very flexible to the response to the needs of the social circumstances, to the needs of the team, if we are talking about the team management. Great PMs know that the project change and they are always on the lookout for it and make some points where it can change. So that's why make the while you are doing the plan strategy, while you are making the goal of the flexibility available on each and every part of the project, put some points, put some keystones on which you will search for, on which you will evaluate the way how those people who are inside your team, those people who are getting your project stakeholders, how they are react to the certain activity. And when that change becomes a real factor, they immediately find ways to adapt the project path, and you also will do so while you are practicing such a thing, and while you are practicing understanding of such a thing as flexibility. For sure, this type of understanding the reality, this type of understanding the project is quite difficult, because we think that we are the greatest one in making each and every project. We are greatest one in making each and every deeds. No, not at all. So you're supposed to know that the flexibility is the practical result of your mistakes. As I have mentioned to you beforehand, in the team growth, you are getting this team growth, the personal growth, the part of your flexibility strategy. Having a project management on your team means that you'll always know when a risk issue or changing on the horizon, and you will be able to stay with the response for them. And that's important. While you are making the project for your future, you're supposed to think about further risks, further issues which will come to the result, which will come to your good, to your final good. And of course, such thing as flexibility, which supposed to be included in your goal setting. This flexibility also the outcome will increase the outcomes of your real project implementation. If, for example, if you have the social project which is important for your community, what you will do? First of all, and you know this, you will think about the way how you will find out the result, how you will find out the result of implementing of your services. That's important. And this flexibility, this feedback from stakeholders, it's actually important for understanding of this flexibility. The feedback itself is supposed to be clearly understood, and that's why these factors to adopt the project path in the good way, in the good manner. Clearly that the goals for your project are supposed to include the quality, and it's correlated with such a statement which I have mentioned to you as the uniqueness of the project or the good which you are providing. The quality of the medical service, it's based on the technology and based on the result of implementation of such a technology. The quality itself, it's the result on the way how people who are making your project, that's mean project team, created the quality responsibility for the result, because the responsibility itself, it's also the part of the studying, the part of the practicing. While you are not responsible, and for sure a lot of you who are getting this course, you are not responsible in the fully way, but as far as you are starting the project, you will be responsible for the result. And that's one of the main tasks in this goal quality, to increase your understanding of the responsibility. When your team is focused on their craft, on their good, the quality of work goes up, because they have all the time they need, well within scope, to do that job. And a good project management, a good management in the project activity will always have quality of work on their minds as they help to deliver work to stakeholders. It's common for a suitable project management activity to contribute to internal reviews, proofread content, and make sure that it works as a full sword, or it goes out the door. So as far as you are making the creation of the services, as far as you are providing the services for the needs of your social community, you're supposed to find out how it goes out the door, and you're supposed to understand. And unless you are getting the unquality goods, unless you are presenting to the stakeholders unquality results, there will be response. And such a response will make the negative information about you. As I have mentioned to you, one of the main and important in our days became such an economic resource as the information. And as far as you are increasing your management skills, you will find out that the quality itself supposed to be practically changed during the implementation of the project. It's correlated with the flexibility, because quality is supposed to be stable in each and every part of the project availability and project implementation. On the A phase, you remember A phase, it's like a planning, make a goal statements. You're supposed to create a quality goal statement. You're supposed to make a research which provides you with the quality results of the communication of the beforehand activity, etc. And while you are making your B phase, that's mean delivering of the project products, you're supposed to understand that execution of the project is also result on the way how you communicate inside the team, how you communicate with stakeholders. So the next goal, which supposed to be set on, supposed to be completed in your project goals settings, it's a quantity. This one is important for business owners. This one is important for introductors of the social products. When you remove the burden of project management from your team and place it on one person, you free up their team to take on more projects and produce more work. Sounds like a win-win. And also the quantity of the information, the quantity of the products which you will deliver, it's also important in the way how you understand the goal setting, because the quantity itself give you the real impact on the social circumstances, real impact on the way how you will come to the result of the project. As I told you, there is an acronym which is called SMART, right? This acronym consists from 3 parts, and it can be a smart technology. The first real tool which I ask you to do after you will listen to this presentation and before the practical classes, which you can then present it on the education platforms. Smart technology includes 5 parts, and these 5 parts are actually the result of the research, are the result of the genesis in understanding of the project management. First thing, you're supposed to create your goal very specific. What exactly we're supposed to achieve, to get, to discover while we are making the project, while we are making the project implementation. In case of the personal goal, it can decrease in the weight, it can get the new discipline important for the understanding, for your knowledge. In case of your future occupation, you're supposed to exactly know, specifically know the result of the result of your project activity. It can be. It's supposed to be related with the certain services which you will provide. It's supposed to be specific. Well, in my personal case, right, I can get the specific result while I'm increasing from one level of sport activity to the upper level of the sport activity. Yes, it's a personal goal, and you will also think while you are getting to your home task, while you are getting to your notebooks, as I have mentioned to you, you will write down these specific terms, and we will discuss it during the practical classes. You will first of all try to make a very specific determinants of your goals, and it's important for education procedure. Second thing, in this smart technology, your goal is supposed to be measurable. Descriptions of a measurable system with help of which the result will be presented. It can be, if descriptor is quantitative, we're supposed to estimate a measurable unit which will be used during the project implementation. Such a thing, if we are talking about the goal of my personally, of my sport increasing, to increase the time on which I'm spending for the running, on which I'm spending for the self-development. And it's important for us to understand that it's supposed to be calculated, yes, the quantitative measures. If we describe it in the qualitative measures, we're supposed to present the echelon of interrelations inside the project community and inside the project realization. The measurability of the interrelations, it's a qualitative description on the way how we communicate inside the team. For example, increasing of the level of intercommunication, increasing of the level of communication field between stakeholders and your project team manager, your project team members. For sure, the measurability of any type of activity is quite difficult. It's also coming from the mistakes. All of our starting procedure is coming from the mistakes. And as I have mentioned to you, the problem of measurable system inside the project is to create the proper way of understanding such a measurability. Attainable, this means a description of the way how to reach the goal, and can we reach it generally or not at all. The way how we attain such a level on which we're supposed to get on in our communication. Is it attainable or not? I couldn't see myself as the person who will pick up the great weight. Yes, I understand that it couldn't be attainable even if I will do the sport activity for the whole day. No, it's impossible, because genetically, on physiological level, we have a certain level on which we couldn't overcome. We can overcome, but we'll come to the health problem. Also, the same in the creation of your own goal. Think about attainability. Can we attain such a goal or not at all? Don't think that the social circumstances will change because of the implementation of the goal very rapidly. So that's why I think of such a goal which can be attainable on the certain time position. Of course, getting to the realistic definition of goal, existentiality and reality, and is it really can be achieved by a certain amount of activity inside your project. Definition of goal existentiality supposed to become connected with the real terms, supposed to be connected with the real forms of intercommunication inside, for example, your social activity. That's why while you are making your home task, think about the realistic position of yourself and the way of concentrating, on the way of understanding your future project. And of course, T in this smart technology come to the time bound. For sure, understanding of the time is very difficult. It's a specific term which is called time management. And time trigger definition, limitation by which the project is supposed to be achieved. I have mentioned to you that it's supposed to be the introductive and the final date of the project. And during the time management, time bounding of the implementation of the project, you're supposed to clearly understand these points in achieving certain goals and achieving certain circumstances on which you will evaluate your project. Of course, it's quite difficult. For me, it's also quite difficult to use the time bound because you're supposed to increase your psychological inspiration. And I guess for you, it's also important to understand that time bound is the result of the self-development. It's the result of the psychological inspiration which you will put during the implementation of the project. That's for the time bound if you are talking about the personal projects. If you are talking about the social project, then you will supposed to understand that the smart technology and the fifth part of it, time bound, supposed to be correlated with the time bounding of the rest of your stakeholders and your team members. What kind of conclusion we can make while we are getting to the result of the goal setting? First thing, that the team gets to collaborate and grow by trying new approaches to deliverables. As I have mentioned to you, while you are creating new distribution, the new services, the new unique goodness, you're supposed to make the collaboration and grow trying step by step. It's not the way which you can overcome. And this step-by-step communication, step-by-step introducing of your good, it's important to get this collaboration position important, get these collaboration activities achievable for those stakeholders and team members. Good project management will always have quality of work on their minds as they help to deliver work to stakeholders. That's our conclusion number 2, and you're supposed to understand this as the result of goal settings, to deliver work to the stakeholders. All your technologies, even including smart technology or any other tool, you're supposed to think how to deliver work, how to deliver the final product to the stakeholders. And third conclusion, it's the result of our first practical tool. Smart technology, efficient functioning procedure. Efficient functioning procedure in creating the plan strategy, in creating the actually goal setting which will be related to our plan and which will be related to the main unique product which we will deliver to the stakeholders. That's why the home task for you is making the smart technology goal setting, and before the practical classes, make a picture of each and every part of this smart technology, each and 5 parts of that smart technology to our platform, and before the practical classes I will check it and we will communicate during the practical classes how to fix your goal setting based on the smart technology. So that's why that is your home task. Pay attention to this while you are making the preparation for the practical classes.